Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. I am Pastor Guy, and this is Pastor's Corner. For those of you who might be new to the corner, I'm Guy Watley, and welcome to my corner of the internet. It's a place where we get together once a week to encourage the believer on how to be in the world, but not of the world. If you like what you hear, please follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Give us likes and thumbs up, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Friend us on Facebook. I don't know if we do that. Follow us on Facebook anyway. And you can find us Sunday mornings at 10:30 Pacific time as we live stream our services. And next week is Christmas Eve, and we will be live streaming on Christmas Eve our Sunday or our Christmas Eve service at 6 o'clock Pacific time. So you can find that there as well. It lasts an hour on Christmas Eve. And so, yeah, welcome, and we're glad you're here. So I had a conversation this week, today, I think, is when I had it with a friend of mine who he's been tinkering with a stringed instrument. And it's Christmas season, and he was playing Christmas songs, learning them. He's still learning, and it struck him that he just didn't want to play or sing songs about Santa Claus. It struck him. He felt that that's not honoring to God. What would God think about Santa Claus? And you know, I'm not here to be a Debbie Downer on Christmas, okay? We did not introduce Santa Claus into our house when we started having kids. We made a purposeful decision that, my wife was like, well, I'm not going to lie to him, and that's lying to him. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. So we didn't do that. We didn't perpetuate that. We did instruct our children not to tell their friends who believed in Santa Claus that he didn't exist and that it was a tradition born of man. Anyway, so that's kind of where we're coming from. Santa has never been a big part of raising our children anyway. But as a child growing up, I always watched all the cartoons, all the, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all the classics that we know, and enjoyed them, never had an issue with it. Didn't, always knew, well, Christmas is about Jesus, and this is, I don't know what I thought, but I never conflated the two or felt like I was trying to put Santa above Christ. But the conversation that I had today with my friend just got me thinking, or processing, and I got to thinking, and I'm one that I can hum a tune every once in a while as I'm driving around or doing something. A song will get in my head. And a song that was in my head is, "It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas." And I was humming that, and I don't know the song. I know the first line, basically. Everywhere you go or everywhere you look, and it's beginning to look like Christmas everywhere you go. Whether, it was Bing Crosby singing it or Perry Como, back in the 50s, I don't know. But it's a tune, we all know it, and it can just stay in your head. So I thought I'd look up the lyrics and just see how, if there was a Christian emphasis in the song, other than the word Christmas, right? And what do you think I found, I guess? What I found is that there really are no verses in the song that speak to Christ or the birth of the Christ child. It's just about giving gifts, and looking at a Christmas tree, and the snow and the bells. The only thing that's even close, and it does come close, it says, "And the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart." And that's as close as it gets. And so, not a Christian, not a Christ-based Christmas song, in other words, but very popular, right? And very catchy. And it doesn't mean that when you hear it or hum the tune, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, that you don't think of Jesus, that you don't think of the Christ child and what his birth did for humanity and gave us the opportunity to partake in. And so, again, I kept thinking about that and was thinking about that song, because it's not a song we would sing in our church on Christmas Eve. We do have our candlelight service, and we will sing, 6 or 7 songs, and they will all be, based from a Christian worldview, from a Christian perspective of Christmas. Joy to the world, the Lord has come. And so as I was processing that and thinking about that, I got to think, what does Jesus think about Santa Claus and the reindeer? And so, as I don't want to preach to the choir here or to, myself, well, what does the Bible say about Jesus, right? And what he thinks. So I thought, well, let me go to the Bible. So we're going to go to the Bible. And I searched the word jealous. Okay. Because if more people are focused on Santa Claus than on Jesus Christ, the gift that God the Father gave to the world, "This is my Son, in whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." That's what he said. But the Bible says this about God, who Jesus is. "For you shall worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God." Okay, he's a jealous God. Deuteronomy 4. "For the Lord your God is a consuming fire, a jealous God." He's a jealous God. Psalm 79. Go down to Psalm 79. "How long, O Lord, will you be angry forever? Will your jealousy burn like fire?" In other words, is it even quenchable? Is it going to go on for eternity? You are a jealous God. Nahum chapter 1. Who thought I was going there? "The Lord is a jealous and avenging God. The Lord is avenging and wrathful." And then finally, 1 Corinthians 10. And in this passage, Paul's talking specifically about idolatry, right? "Shall we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he?" So I guess my question or my thought process is, does the Western world's obsession with Santa Claus provoke the Lord to jealousy? I'm not going to ask the question, should it? Because it's not up for me to decide. It's God's choice. All of these things are God's decision. He chooses And Scripture is very clear that our God is jealous and He doesn't want us to put anything above Him. And so if a child is more excited about what Santa is going to bring him on Christmas than what Jesus brought on Christmas, is He a jealous God? I know if I put myself in a situation where, let's say because we're on Christmas, I'll use that theme. Let's say I bought a special gift for, my wife or my child. And let's just say my child. And, but Christmas Eve, we opened up grandma's presents or grandpa's presents or, whatever, cousin's presents. And that gift was there. And my child was so excited because that's the gift they wanted. And so they gave their affection and joy to the person that gave it to them. When I had it sitting right here, they just weren't going to get it till tomorrow on Christmas Day. Would I be jealous in my heart for the excitement and the joy that my child showed and gave it to somebody else rather than to me? Yeah, I probably kind of would. I probably kind of would. And that's just a superficial nothing compared to what would spurn jealousy in our God. I mean, one of the 10 Commandments is, you shall worship the Lord your God. You shall have no other gods before Him. Because He's a jealous God. So when the song says, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, what does Christmas look like to a believer? Well, let me give you a couple of thoughts. He shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. So I guess I would say that what does it mean when it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas? That means I'm beginning to see the hope of Christmas. The peace that Jesus Christ brought into the world. The peace that He promised us. The joy that we live in on a daily basis, knowing the horrible things that go on in our world, will not thwart His plan. And He cannot, and it won't take us from His hand. If I were to die today, I'm with the Lord. 2 Corinthians 5:8, it is better to be absent from the body and to be at home with the Lord. The thief on the cross, today you will be with me in paradise. That's joy. That's joy that can't be quenched. That's what Christmas looks like. The love of God beyond all understanding. It surpasses anything we can imagine. God's love is a love of choice, which is the best love. A love of choice. And He chose to love me. He chooses to love you. It says in the Bible, for God so loved the world. But when you are adopted as a child of the King, He loves you on a whole other level of love, as an adopted son or daughter of the King. Redemption, forgiveness, peace. it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And the more you understand those themes, those truths, those attributes of a holy God who stepped out of eternity and into time so that we might be reconciled. Reconciliation. There's a Christmas word for you. Merry Reconciliation Day for those who believe. And for those who believe, it's always Christmas. Every single day. December 25th is the day we celebrate it, but it's always Christmas. Merry Christmas. Be blessed. And come join us on Christmas Eve for a candlelight service. And yeah, you can even see it on TV. It's not that dark. Have a Merry Christmas.